NoonaTalk.
I'm Zara, and how am I inundated with music and content constantly? It is June. Why am I not getting a break?
I am Sophia and I hate being an army right now because why is there a new song every week? Why is there a new
Yeah.
release every week? Give me a break.
We are
But
Noona Talk, which is a podcast where we talk about all things K-pop, K-drama, K-culture, K-beauty, and everything else that you need to know if you're a Desi stan.
and you can find our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Amazon Podcasts, wherever you find podcasts. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can look at our pretty faces.
And also remember to follow us on Instagram, where we host a lot of giveaways, post relatable content, do live unboxing of albums.
So, as half the year is over, we thought, why don't we do a review of all the music that's come out this year up till now? So, we're gonna do our top five releases, K pop releases of the year. And we can't wait to tell you what they are. But in the comments, you can let us know what your top five releases of the year have been. But before that,
What's popping, guys?
So what is popping? Okay, other
okay,
than the
so
fact that Hobie's album is coming out, I have nothing else to inform. That is everything. Today morning, I woke up to concept photo, and it took me a long time to be like, are those bunny ears? Are those cat ears? What are
no, I
those?
think it's Jack in the Box, like the
Yeah,
Joker.
it's jester ears.
The Jester, yeah, the
Hmm.
card. Oddly enough, we did just do a card comeback. But yeah, comebacks remind me. It's still comeback season. I think like April was comeback galore, then May was comeback galore, then
No,
June we're
remember
still
March
getting.
Madness? It's just not
Yeah,
ended.
seriously. It's been a mad and added to the list recently, which is, I think we've talked about what's happening in June and we keep covering it. But what's happening in July is Enhypen are having their comeback. Like, guys, you just came back. Then we're also getting ITZY's comeback, which I'm super excited
Oh
about.
yes, checkmate.
Yeah, it seems like a different concept this time. It feels like a slightly step away from Girl Crush. And we the biggest news I think is that BTS, Tae, Hyung, V, Blackpink's Lisa, and Park Bogum have all been they're all in Paris. They're at the Celine fashion show, and it happened I think yesterday or today, whatever time zone
Early
you're in.
morning, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I was just like that. I don't know.
Okay.
But
You
no,
were junk cooking. But yeah, sorry.
I was no, the fashion show photos are giving me a life because
Oh
Bogum
my
and Tay
god.
are wearing like the most Charminar 2003 Nakli necklace ever.
True, but
It's
Tayl's
very like if
jacket.
they wore that and then did Mehbooba and Mehbooba, I'd be like, yeah, that's like
But Tayl's red jacket is giving. Oh my god. Also, like it was so wild when they were sitting with like the guy from Tame Impala, the person who from the kid from Nanny McPhee. Like it was just the most oddest ensemble of people. But it was really fun. I think fans were really excited. So we are also getting new shows, audition shows. Mnet has announced that Boys Planet 999 will be happening, which like Kepler is literally just started and they're already getting the boys version of and also and audition boys is starting on the 9th of July. Like that's exciting.
I feel like this
We
is
are going to
something
be
I have
checking
been
it out,
waiting
so stay
for
tuned for that
so long. Like, and audition
forever.
has literally been
Yeah.
on my like to watch since November last year.
Rootin' for K. I mean, we know K is already in there, but we're just watching it for that. But also, that, which reminds me, where is Island Girls? Like 2020 is almost over. Where is Island Girls?
Yeah, 2020 ended 2 years ago.
That's happening. So 17 just had their Soul concert yesterday, and the lineup was so star-studded. I think Mama has less celebrities than the 17 concert. Than the 17 concert. They had Keith from Shiny, Taeyeon from SNSD, Monsta X members, the entire NCT China line was there, and Hypen members were there, and our
Oh, I
very
had
own
no
BTS
idea this
Jungkook.
many people showed up.
Yeah, yeah. And then in the Ment, they talked about it, but they were like, you all must be wondering why so many celebrities turned up. It is because they personally invited people. They said, oh, we felt very confident with what we are putting out, so we called a lot more
Oh,
people
that's
to turn up.
really nice.
Yeah, and they're all the 13 of them, so all of them must have their celebrity friends, so it like
Of
increases
course.
the pool.
Yeah, even if
But
each one of them gets like two people, that's still like 30 people.
and in some very like shocking news, five members of Promise Nine have met with a car accident, so out of
Oh,
six.
I remember
And
this.
yeah, so it happened 2 days ago. It was just reported yesterday. And today was supposed to be their comeback, which of course now it's all cancelled. The release said that they have minor injuries, but the doctors have said that they refrain from any physical activities for at least a couple of weeks, which is really sad because they were just kind of gaining momentum. I think after the Hybe Pledis takeover, they got a lot of sales. They were getting a lot of being the one of the two girl groups in Hype, they were getting a lot more spotlight. So this was kind of
Yeah.
their time to shine, and it's really sad, honestly. But praying for a speedy recovery. And last but not the least is that Money Heist Korea is happening.
Oh,
It's
right.
out there. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
and
I got an
it's
ad. Like Netflix pushed it to me, and I was just like, just because I'm doing like K-pop and K-dramas doesn't mean I'm gonna watch everything.
yeah, but it's really gaining momentum, and the intro song is DNA by BTS, and one of the main characters is an army from North Korea. It's very
I mean, like, you
cool.
just have to speak to reality at some point, right?
Yeah, it's really funny where she's like, a lot of BTS fans are called army, but I'm also in the army.
But before we can get into it, yeah, here's a quick shout out to one of our Instagram followers who's been supporting our content. If you want a chance to be featured for the next time on our episode, make sure to subscribe to our channel and also follow us on Instagram and leave a comment on this video.
Get into it, yeah.
So, we are going to be doing our top five releases of the year, starting from number five. And what is your criteria for these selections?
I think something that I really look to this, I think for both of us, I think it's quite this same criteria where things we enjoyed is number one. Like, I think personal
Mhm.
impact. There were
Hmm.
some things that I looked at and I did try to choose on the basis of like overall like global impact or whatever, but
Hmm. Hmm.
honestly there's been a lot of music that did really well on the charts, but if I don't even want to listen to it on my shuffle, then is it even worth it?
Yeah, same. For me, I think half 50% of, not 50%, but a lot of my list was B-sides because I'm like, who cares about the charts, right? Like, things are popular because people like it, but what I like is different. So, mine is literally just
Exactly.
my most played songs up till now, and like, which are like in my head 24/7. So, I think that's just my criteria, nothing else. So,
Nice.
let's begin
Let's
with
start with
number
five.
five. What's
What's
your
your
number
number
five?
five? Oh no, we're
I
asking
asked.
the same question. Okay. My number five, I honestly, when I went into this and I was ranking them, this I definitely thought it'd be higher on the list for me. But like the minute I
Mhm.
started actually ranking them down, I'm actually shocked it's five.
Mhm.
It's Hurdle by Suho. I loved everything about it from musicality. It was such a departure from the way Suho's music has been. Like I think
Mhm.
all of Grey Suit and all of his first EP as well. Like they were a very
Mhm.
specific sound and theme, whereas Hurdle was like way out, and I loved it. I loved the MV. I
Wow,
think
that's
it's the
wild
head.
because I
The
remember
MV.
when we were discussing it, I remember Hurdle was one of the first things that came in your mind. So I'm surprised that it's number five.
It's because I
My
started
number,
listing it down. Is the worst.
yeah, you're like, oh, there has been so much good music. But my number five is also not an ex, but like a group artist who has a solo release. It's BI's BT, aka Bitter Bitter, because I'm not even kidding. Ever since that song came out, and this is despite the very trash Soldier Boy part in it. Like Soldier Boy did not need to be in that song, honestly. But it's such a bob. Like I'm just, it's very my kind of music. It's very like dance. It makes you kind of vibe and like. get down, and the performance video is also fun. But just as a song, I think Bi puts out incredible music. I've never not liked a Bi release, but yeah, Bitter Bitter is like it was honestly higher, but then I had to fit in other things. But yeah, it's there. It had to be.
That's yeah, you understand my pain. Yeah, no, so this may come as a surprise because I feel like I really haven't talked about but like the way this song, like I heard it once and like impact.
Okay.
It's
Really?
I Hated Myself by Epic High is here part 2.
Oh. Oh wow.
Like
Oh, I didn't even venture into Epic High, honestly.
yeah,
But
no,
why?
I had a completely different song in my like number 4, and I just on a
Okay.
whim was like scrolling down Wikipedia of like all the releases this year, and I hit
Mm-hmm.
like Epic High, and I was like, oh my god, because I think for a solid 6 weeks, this was constantly on my like playlist. It was playing. I mean, it is definitely a very
Mm-hmm.
sad and like hard song to listen
Of
to.
course.
It's not bopping music, but I think it was just
Hmm.
such a beautiful song, and there's so much vulnerability in it. Like I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, damn, this just elevates your list. Like, honestly, I didn't even think, because for me, I was like, oh, I must stick to like K-pop, because if I get into KHH,
Oh, is
then
it
it's
like
like,
not? Oh no, am I like
no,
breaking
I mean,
rules?
no rule. We all have our own rules. But for me, like, this was my personal rule where I was like, if I venture into K-hip hop and K-indie, then like K-pop to chhod hi dungi main. But yeah, oh my god, that's a great song. But like,
What's your
what
number
about
4?
it makes you love it?
Oh, the lyrics.
Oh,
Undoubtedly the lyrics.
okay. So my number four is like, if you know that one photo of that LA house where there's this black house and then there's this pink and purple house right next to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah. On the
Okay.
beach.
So this is our number four. Yeah, on the beach. This is our number four. Mine is Pop by Nyan.
Why is that true? Oh my god, you know the LA house that which is black and then purple and pink?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Black, purple and pink.
You are the LA house. But yeah, it's Pop by Nyan, and I know it came out 3 days ago, but the way I have not been able to stop listening to it, and not even because Nyan has been pushing it like crazy, like every third post on my TL Nyan will be yeah, so Pop has been out for 3 days, and I have been listening to it like a crazy person, because it encompasses this like the girly pop vibe of K-pop. Yeah, I'm gonna post the Instagram challenge also. I
Oh my
love
god,
it.
you did
Yeah.
it so fast. I cannot do it. I feel like I did enjoy the song as well, like quite a lot. Maybe not to make it like a top 5 for me personally, but I did really like it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, what's your number 3?
Okay. My number three is another girl group. Honestly, now it's just girl groups, but it's Blue Flame by Le Seraphim. The I think Le Seraphim has had kind of a mixed reaction among the people that I've talked to in terms of their debut. But I was also not too sold on Fearless, but it did kind of grow on me. But the when I listened to the B sides, I have it. The biggest challenge for me was not picking which song, but it was which Le Seraphim B side to pick from, because I like all the three so much, and I've been listening to all of them. But I think Flame is that 80s throwback, and this is part where they go satisfaction in the robotic, the what is it called, vocoder voice
Yeah.
and things like that. It's a really great production. It's a really fun song, and I have not stopped listening to it since it came out, and that's saying something considering it's a debut album. Like, how many people have great B
Yeah,
sides on
no,
a
I
debut
heard
album?
Blue Flame as well, and like I was really shocked that it was on the same album as Fearless.
Hmm. But yeah, what's
Um,
your number three?
okay, so in terms of like their own discography, I don't think this is their best song, but like this year, it did come out this year. So I'm following the rules of 2022. Blessed Cursed.
Oh. Tescos came out this year?
Yeah, in January.
Oh, by Enhypen.
Yeah,
Oh.
by and Hypen. It was. I feel like I was maybe considering another song from their album this time, but
Polaroid Love.
yeah, I
I
was.
mean,
I
that
was.
is their biggest song ever,
Yeah, and like
honestly.
we've done a reel to it as well. It was really fun.
Hmm.
Um, but then I listened to Blessed Cast and I was like, oh my god, this is such a good song that I honestly
Hmm.
plays in my car constantly. It's not something I necessarily go seek out. Like I don't go, hey, it's been a while since I've heard it, because I think I listen to
Hmm.
maybe Fever a little bit more than this. But
A
whenever it comes
a little bit.
but whenever Blessed Curse comes on, I can't say no.
Hmm.
And it's the same thing I think that you were talking about with Blue Flame, where the production is so good, where you're just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
how is it this excellent? Like how, I mean, of course, because it's Slow Rabbit, but like it's so well done.
It is. It's Slow Rabbit. I didn't know that.
Is it not?
I thought it
I've
was.
been assuming it
I don't
is.
know. I don't know how like which Enhypen song Slow Rabbit does.
I think this was the Slow Rabbit song. You know what? I
It
could be
could
wrong. I
be.
think maybe Tame Dashed is the Slow Rabbit song.
Okay, I don't know. But no, I get it. I understand. But I mean, Bless Curse, when it came out, I was kind of like skeptical, but it really grew on me. And this is just any hype production. I think it's just the listenability value. Is that you keep listening to it, and the more things keep coming up, and it's very good. Yeah, makes sense.
What's your number two?
Okay, my number two is probably the biggest song, at least on K charts this year, by any non BTS artist.
Yeah, that's an
It's
outlier.
Tomboy. It's Tomboy by G Idol.
Oh,
Dude, like I never die.
I can't
I've
even think
always
of that.
yeah, yeah, I know. It's the one that I forgot. It's the one I've listened to it so many times. I've listened to live performances. It's always playing on my like playlist. I'm into the song so bad, and that says something because I Never Die was a really good EP. I think
Hmm.
there are some very very good B sides. We did do a listening party to it. Some great B sides, but Tomboy is just like the biggest like F men like the misandry of it is
I
what
really
keeps
enjoyed Tomboy. I
me.
think everything about it just worked.
Yeah, like this one part where Soyeon goes, It's not true, I'm not a doll," and she's just like screaming at the camera, and I'm like, "Yeah, feels." And even
Yeah,
the
no.
MV is really good, and just
Hmm.
stylistically, it's so it's very punk aesthetic, but it's not punk, but it is like cherry bomb and those things, not
It's
NCT,
like modern
but
punk.
it's punk inspired, and
Hmm.
it gets, I think more than anything it gets the message of punk, which I think you can have punk inspired sound, but punk inspired messaging is what really keeps me in it.
Yeah.
What's your number two?
Okay, so this I was very conflicted with because I knew I would put this album on my top five, but I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
which song out of all of
Mm-hmm.
them would I put in my top five.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think honestly, like at this point, I'm gonna say the name of the song, but any song from this album is okay at my number two. Honestly,
Okay,
it's
okay.
Boy Gone Bad.
I was assuming. I was just gonna say the
Honestly,
TXT.
honestly, anything. Trust Fund Baby, Dal. The opening
Hmm.
sequence, loved it, Dal. Though,
Hmm.
like Thursday's child has far to go, Dal. Like honest, there was not, there was no skip. Not only was there no skip, like
Hmm.
nothing, like there was a
It was
mark and
meh.
like they were just like
Ha.
everything was above it.
Hmm.
So the only reason I'm putting Boy Gone Bad is just like maybe if everything else I've listened to 50 times, this one maybe I've listened to 52 times.
Okay.
But that's
Yeah,
kind
for
of
anyone listening, we did have a rule where we will only have like one song per artist. So I think that's why it was a bit more difficult to zero on the one
yeah.
song by the artist.
No, but I loved it. I
Okay.
loved everything about it from
Hmm.
vocal. I think they've all grown so much. It's so interesting to hear them. Um, they're not, and this is something I've always enjoyed about TXT. They're not like hard and fast like vocal and rap. So there's so
There's
much like
breathing
play.
spaces in the music.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
there's
It's
so
not it's
much.
not overwhelming. Yeah.
And like it's just the MV was great.
Hmm.
The live performances are great. What's going
Yeonjun.
on?
Yeonjun going, I like being bad. Oh my God, sir.
So we
You're a
follow you on
child.
Instagram.
Okay.
What's your number
So
two?
that's I've already
Wait, we
told you
already
about my
talked about
number
your
two.
number two. Sorry.
Yeah. So that wraps up almost all of our list. Now, before we go to number one, we're going to do some of our honorable mentions. I am going to start by just picking off of your number two. My honorable mention is Thursday's Child Has Far to Go.
Really?
Yeah, I think if Pop by Nyan hadn't come out this week, it would have Thursday's Child would have made it to the list. I again agree. It was a great EP. Loved opening sequence. Love Good Boy Gone Bad. I think Thursday's Child has the 80s. Look at me, I'm a sucker for like 80s rock, pop rock music. But it was a really good track. I think the only thing for me with this EP, why it didn't make it to my top five, was I feel like lyrically I didn't relate to it as much. I
Fair.
mean, that's about it. Otherwise, the production, vocal performance, everything top notch. So, what's one of your honorable mentions?
No, so more than the song itself, like the song itself is beautiful, but more than that,
Hmm.
I think the MV sort of really honed in for me. Happier by Psy featuring Crush.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, like I heard
that's
the
a good
song and I
one.
really liked it, and then that was
Hmm.
it. And then the MV came out, and I was just like zap. Is that animated one, which kind of
Yeah.
is Psy's life, um,
Hmm.
and it's just beautiful. It gave me very strong Cats in a Cradle and the Silver Spoon, like very
Yeah,
strong. But
that makes sense. Good pick.
I loved it. Yeah. What's another
Yeah, so
one of your
I had a really power packed album. So like yeah, it's not surprising that one of the songs made it. Another one of mine is Shut Down by Moonbyul featuring Sori.
Oh,
It was a
unsurprising,
sapphic representation.
honestly.
Yeah, Moonbyul put out like a whole album this year, but Sori is one of my favorite independent Korean artists. Like every song I have not disliked a single song she has ever done. I was so overjoyed that she was on a Moonbyul song, and it was a very slow, very off, like left field Moonbyul song. It wasn't poppy, it wasn't hard. It was very chill, very relaxing. Like you're sipping coffee and just like listening to it, and it's very easy listening. That's the word.
Hmm.
But
We heard it in a show and like it was the OST, and then I had to go look it up because it's such an amazing song. It's Hush Hush by Miyavi. And it features Kang Daniel, and it was in Rookie Cops, and it was hella weird because like it's a very intense scene and the show ends with Hush Hush playing, and it
and
doesn't
Hush is so
match at all.
sexy. Hmm.
Yeah, and Hush Hush is really sexy and it does not match with the scene at all. But the song was so spectacular. I think both of us at the time were like, what is this?
Yeah, like जाओ Spotify पे देखो.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
no, and it's an amazing song. Like I listen to
Hmm.
it like every alternate day, I think.
So my last honorable
Fun.
mention is 11 by Ive. Eve. I don't know how you pronounce it.
I've
Ive, yeah.
I've I've
It's such an earworm. I think Love Dive is probably more famous, but I
Hmm.
can't stop listening to 11. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You make me feel like 11, and it keeps singing it. And it's a really good song. It's a very and this is what I really liked about it because I think a lot of new K-pop songs have very noisy production. Like there's a lot happening, but this was very vocal forward, which I really enjoyed. I think I have probably the best rookie debut this year. And yeah, 11 is my earworm song. I'm just like walking down the street being like, you make me feel like 11.
Yeah, no, it's a really catchy song. I didn't really like
Okay.
care for it very much, but it's very catchy.
Hmm. Okay, now it's time for number one. I can guess your number one and you can guess my number.
Yeah, I think everybody can guess our number ones. But I think it's very obvious. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what your number one song in 2022 so far has been?
So far, it's been For Youth by BTS. But honestly,
What?
my number one.
Oh, I'm so stunned.
Number one should just be a bracket called BTS for me because it's also Stay Alive by Jungkook. It's also like everything that's come out in Proof, including Young Love and Jin's Epiphany demo. It's With You by Jimin. But among all of that, I think because we should stick to one artist per numbers per list.
One song
So
per
I,
artist.
one song per artist. See, I was thinking of Bangtan and my brain moved. But yeah, For Youth is the song for me. It was made for me. You can listen to my rant in episode 3. Basically, I want it to be played everywhere. I love it. It's in my blood. I want it injected. I want it tattooed on my forehead. I love that song. And I love the live performances. It's like a love letter to Army, but also just a great song. And vocal performances, top notch.
I didn't realize you felt this strongly about this song.
Really?
You never talk about it.
At all. But yeah. What about you? What is your number one song of
What
2022,
could it
2022 till
be?
now? Let me
Unsurprisingly, to
guess.
absolutely anybody. Okay, go ahead.
It's named after a variety show.
Whoa! How did you know? Run BTS was iconic. It is the best song. Like if you said
Hmm.
best Bangtan top 5, it would feature in my top 5. Like the way that that song is amazing, it is well written, it is amazingly produced. They are having so much fun. I wish I could say I love the live performance, but I guess we just have that one Jungkook V live to live off of until like the hiatus ends. But no, I loved Run BTS so much. Like I love it as a song. I love it for what it means. I love the fact that it's a theme song for the best show.
Yeah, valid. It's everyone's favorite. Like I haven't met a single person who's like, I don't like Run BTS.
I have.
It's grown on me. I do shake ass to Run BTS now. Hmm.
But yeah, no, I love
Right.
it. Like I think I quote it at least like once a day. Like I try to reference it as much as possible. I'm at work and I'm like, oh, you know this, there's this one song.
Yeah,
I do
I
this.
like same. It's such an earworm though. Like even I'm like walking around and suddenly Jimin's like Jungkook's was like, "Never wake, wake from the bottom."
Yeah, like I feel like Hobie just going run, run is just in my
Hmm.
head. Sorry, just to recap, my top 5 was Hurdle by Suho, I Hated Myself by Epic High, Blessed Cursed by Hypen, Good Boy Gone Bad by TXT, and then Run BTS by BTS. What was your top 5?
My was Bitter Bitter by BI, Pop by Neon, Blue Flame by Le Seraphim, Tomboy by G Idol, and For Youth by BTS. Those were our top five. What were yours? Tell us in the comments. How do you feel about our list? I know it's not probably not the most popular opinion. We should just call this unpopular K-pop song opinions, maybe.
Why? I feel like Run BTS would be a lot of people's number one.
But yeah, I guess we're just edgy like that. But what were your favorites? Tell us. Tell us what else you've liked and what else we should list. I like making lists. Let's do more of these.
Yeah. But we will be back next week with a new episode. What will it be about? We wonder. Maybe it's K drama or K flop, but maybe it's something else.
Hmm.
Let us know in the comments below if you're watching and enjoying. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel and also follow us on Instagram. I will be Zara next week as well.
I will be Sophia next week too. Stay safe, stay hydrated, stay happy. Bye.